How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ruffled Railits, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Today, we are going to be taking a look at some things that I thought would be worthwhile to talk about. Now, the first thing we have in this video is going to be about the Pokemon 22 movie, or Movie 22, also known as Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution. Now, as you guys know, there was this quote-unquote thing about potentially a trailer dropping, which didn't really happen, but something else did surface, though, actually. A little bit of a teaser trailer, or I don't know if you're gonna call it a teaser, or trailer, sorry, but a bit of a teaser dropped, or rather, it wasn't dropped, but it was actually inside of the DVD/Blu-ray of Pokemon the 21st movie, which was the previous Pokemon movie that came out this year, which was the Everyone's Story movie, or the Power of Us movie, if you guys remember that one. So basically, there was a little bit of a teaser, and I'll show you the teaser on the screen here so you guys can see what it looks like. It was posted on, or rather, this was sent to me by Eduardo Hosana. Big thank you to Eduardo. And then, of course, somebody called KG Peartree found this on Twitter first, and then linked to it from somebody called Filippo has a Depot. There's a lot of connections here from actually who sent this, but Filippo here has the actual thing, and he shows it off. He filmed it with his phone, and it basically shows the bubbles coming up, and just gives us a general idea of like how the CGI is going to look like. It's got just the Mewtwo eye, you know, shining and all that, and it's pretty straightforward, and of course shows the logo, which says Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution, with the kind of old school Japanese kind of look of the text right there, which isn't, you know, the English one, but I think the English one just mostly is the Mewtwo Strikes Back part of it, that says in the middle right there in English. So it's really interesting, it's really cool, but that's the general teaser trailer. You'll see it here on the screen. I'll play it a few times back and forth so you guys can see how it looks like, and of course I also want to ask you guys if you prefer these kind of, you know, slightly more edited videos like this, when we talk about rumors or leaks or any other sort of stuff, or, you know, speculations and theories. Do you want them to be the, you know, this way edited, or do you want to just be the old style where we just sit and talk in front of the camera? So let me know what you guys prefer. But now, next thing on our agenda today is going to be talking about this image right here. Now, this image is actually just a concept art that somebody put together, really, you know, randomly, and this was posted by JeuxVideo.com, which I guess is like a French, I would assume, a French website or something like that, called, JeuxVideo.com. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right there, but you guys can see what it is right there. JV.com is what it's called. So they basically posted this image, and they also posted this message saying this image is Zelda Breath of the Wild, but with Pokemon in it. Now close your eyes and imagine such a game. And I was like, this is actually pretty cool. It's not a bad, you know, idea, and why not see what this concept's all about? So I jumped over to their website and checked it out, and you can see the full concept art right here. We'll break it down in a second, but first I want to read the actual article here, what they said. So here's what they say, which is, we wish 2019's 8th gen Pokemon game to look like this. And then they give a little bit of a rundown saying, although Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee released a few days ago, rather a few weeks ago, I'm pretty sure most hardcore fans of the series are looking forward to the next 8th generation Pokemon game, which, yes, I think most people are excited about that far more than they're excited about the other stuff. And of course, he also links to another article they have, which kind of describes, you know, what 2019's game is going to be like, and the information from, you know, the CEO of the Pokemon company, Tsunekazu Ishihara, who gave an interview telling us, you know, a little bit about this game. And of course, I will also read that article there and just give you a rundown of what Ishihara said. But here we go, guys. So the 8th gen core Pokemon game for Nintendo Switch was announced at E3 2017. Exactly, so last year. Later on, when Nintendo showed off the Let's Go games, many fans thought this was the game that he was talking about. But the Pokemon Company and Game Freak were clear in stating that the core title was still in the works and slated for a late 2019 release. The hype for the game is at an all-time high considering how well Let's Go is currently doing. Well, I mean, Let's Go was doing well in the start. I think Let's Go is kind of mellowing out right now, but it had good sales. I think it's about 5 million now, which is insane. Recently, a fan concept image for the game went viral on Korean social media, which shows how Pokemon would look like in an art style inspired by Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And that's the image you're seeing on screen, and of course the image that should have been in the thumbnail as well, which you guys can see. Basically, it shows off, and we'll kind of break it down in a second after we read the full, you know, context here. So I have to say the scene above looks breathtaking. Bonus point of noticing Ho above the trees. Yeah, I did notice the Ho as well, so you guys can see it up there in the top. But yeah, we'll break down the whole image in a second. It'll probably be a while until we get our first look at the Switch-bound Pokemon 2019 game, but I'm really looking forward to how Game Freak innovates on the series after all these years. Are you looking forward to the next year's 8th gen Pokemon game? What do you think of the fan concept above? Let us know in the comments down below. Alright, so now let's take a look at the actual image and also break down what Ishihara said, because Ishihara gave us a little bit of an insight into what this could be. So let's take a look at the image first, I think. So first things first, right? Here's the image showing us the, you know, first of all, in the corner up there, you've got Eevee with its health bar, which is really strange. I assume this is supposed to show you how it kind of looks like when you're in battle, and then showing the little Pokeballs. But I'm less interested about that, but rather how the world looks like here. So of course, Breath of the Wild, it's beautiful. It's just a beautiful, beautiful game. And I've said it before, but if Pokemon can achieve even close to the level of graphics that they have in Breath of the Wild, I would be satisfied, because Breath of the Wild has graphics that aren't too over realistic, but aren't too, you know, too cartoony and too low res to look, you know, ludicrous. There's just kind of this perfect match between them when you actually like take a look. So there's this kind of perfect synergy between the two. And of course, in the image we can see some Pokemon. First of all, we see of course Eevee standing with its back, you know, looking forward. Of course, Red as well. That's the Red from I think the Red from Sun and Moon. And a bike behind him, which is really nice. I mean, I miss the bikes, if I'm gonna be honest. I miss the Pokemon bikes. I know a lot of people may not miss them, but I do miss them a bit. Being at least able in the future maybe to at least ride on a bike still, and still being able to also ride on Pokemon would be cool, but I don't know, I miss the bikes though. Then of course on the right side there we have Oddish as well. We got 3 Oddishes that are just kind of chilling in the grass, doing their own thing. You can see a little bit of a shadow coming off of one of them, the one in the front, which is pretty cool. Now, the biggest issue I've noticed with Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee is the low res on a lot of the stuff. For example, the shadows look like just pixels, and that isn't good for a game that's on the Switch now. You know, I mean, when Pokemon's already moved from something that was like, you know, a inferior, way more inferior console like the 3DS over to the Switch now, which is way stronger. As the Switch can handle, you know, Breath of the Wild, I feel like if it can handle Breath of the Wild, it should be able to handle a Pokemon game, you know, in the same level, or, you know, at least in the same range. But, of course, that's just only one of the things on this image. We on the left side right there next to the rock of the Eevee, you can see, of course, 2 Caterpies chilling in the grass, moving forward. And, of course, right behind them, you see a Snorlax just laying down on the ground and just chilling, looking very nice. And, of course, in the top, you know, corner up there, we see Ho-Oh flying with a few Pidgeys, I think, behind him, which is really awesome. And of course, we got the health bar and all that stuff showing you just some general things, but other than that, there's really not much else in terms of Pokemon on the screen here. But I just want to give this image and show this image because I agree with what they said here. This is kind of what, like, people would imagine, and based on what Ishihara said, that's why we're mainly bringing this up. Based on what Ishihara said, this could be something we might get, because remember that we also had stuff coming from, you know, some information that apparently had leaked saying that the 2019 game is going to be the Breath of the Wild of the Pokemon series. So if this is really going to be the Breath of the Wild, you know, with quotation marks, the Breath of the Wild of the Pokemon series, then I really wonder what they could achieve. So let's read what Ishihara said back in the day. So Pokemon 2019 will be experienced for the fans, featuring lots of new Pokemon. So Nintendo has announced that 2 different Pokemon series for the Nintendo Switch at a presentation recently. One of them is the Pokemon Let's Go games, which seemingly seems to be closely linked to the Pokemon Go smartphone game, which this is old information, by the way. So, the other is the core mainline Pokemon game that's currently confirmed for 2019. Recently, President and CEO of the Pokemon Company, Tsunekazu Ishihara, gave an interview on the upcoming 2019 game where he teased their plans for it. This interview was shared on a Japanese blog and translated by Twitter user Black Kite. It appears that unlike Pokemon Let's Go, which he calls an entry level for newcomers, this new 2019 game will be for the more experienced fans of the series. It will offer the same hands-on feel, but will be better visual quality. According to Tsunekazu, and this is a quote by him, "We want to provide brand new game where you can meet lots of new Pokemon. This could point to the new game being an entirely new generation instead of a remake like Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Obviously, I think we've gotten that established at this point. And Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu are currently slated to launch on November 16th, exclusively on Nintendo Switch. They appear to be more focused on a beginners-friendly experience that targets the casual audience brought in by the popularity of Pokemon Go smartphone game." So yeah, that is basically, wow, what a monotone way to read that, but that's the basic rundown of that. I think we've kind of established that as well. Now, of course, we just went through the image. The image looks great. I want to know your opinions on that one first of all, guys. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that this image, like a game in the Breath of the Wild style, would work for Pokemon? Do you think people want to see that? Let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to know your thoughts on it, because honestly, at this point, I do not know what's happening anymore. Everything is a little bit all over the place. So let me know in the comment section down below, guys. What do you think about this? Do you think it's realistic? Is it possible? Do you think it will happen? And of course, when it comes to the Mewtwo movie, we did have like the whole thing that happened the other day where, you know, it was basically, we thought we're going to be getting our hands on a full-on trailer, but ended up being not much. It was just kind of a promotion for something else. But hey, at least at the end of the day, we did get the teaser trailer here at the end of the actual movie, movie 2021, showing us the Mewtwo Eye Oh boy, I just got stuck in my talking there. But showing us the Mewtwo Eye and the kind of the CGI style they're going to be using. So, and since we already know that there's going to be a connection between these, like, this movie and specifically Mewtwo in this movie, there's going to be some sort of connection between that and Generation 8. We've kind of gotten that established through the merchandise information that we've gotten. Something is happening in this movie that's going to have a direct connection with Generation 8 and something within that generation itself. So the biggest question here, I guess, is like, what is that going to be? Is Mewtwo going to be getting some sort of new evolution? Because there's evolution in the literal title. So is that something that's going to be happening? Maybe not. Maybe there's going to be something else. Maybe they're going to do a new Mega Evolution for it, or maybe some new gimmick, right? I mean, when I say gimmick, I'm talking about gimmicks like Mega Evolution, Z moves, that sort of stuff. Those are gimmicks that they add to Pokemon, little features or whatever. So are they going to make a brand new feature and introduce that feature, through this movie? Like, basically, having this movie as kind of the catalyst for that, as a way to kind of introduce us to that specific thing. And also, of course, we are, due to this movie being, showing up very soon and probably getting a full-on trailer sooner or later, it's not established yet when we're going to get it, but sooner or later, the one is going to drop because, we're getting closer and closer to 2019, and, usually these trailers drop around, this time of the year, to kind of, get people hyped up, but we will probably have an announcement ahead of time from, the Pokemon Company. Will have an announcement or something like that, and of course, keep track of what's happening on the social medias and stuff. There should be something popping up right there, but I'll make sure to just give you, the information once it's actually, 100% confirmed. Last time, I didn't get it properly translated, so I was a little bit lost, but this time around, I made sure to actually check with translators and all that stuff to make sure everything is on point, my dudes. So yeah, guys, that's going to be the end of this one, though. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, then drop a like down below, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Have yourselves a good one, and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.